Then then you were asked to calculate the critical, find out the critical path, draw the network diagram, find out the total project duration, like that. But in reality, it is very, very difficult to identify that exact time or exact duration of completion of a single activity or task. So that's why it has been thought that why not develop a different technique where three different time estimates will be set. Like we are all estimating the future, no, that by what time the network entire project will get over and like that. So why don't we create a method or a technique where we will have three different time estimates. One will give you the most optimistic time estimate. That means this, if everything goes well, the best thing is happening, then this optimistic time will be taken into consideration. Then we will also have one pessimistic time estimate. This pessimist time estimate will say that this is the longest time, this is the longest allowed time that an activity will take for its completion. If even if everything goes wrong in the practical scenario, everything is getting delayed, everything is in question, then this time will have to be taken. So pessimistic and optimistic. Optimistic is the best time, smallest time if everything goes well, and pessimistic is the longest time that an activity will take if everything goes wrong. Now between these two time estimate, there is another estimate that is called most likely time estimate. It refers to the estimate of the normal time the activity would take. So, pessimist and optimist being the worst and the best, in between them, there is also an average time estimate, which is called most likely time estimate. Okay. So, are you getting my point? That instead of like in CPM method, we had seen only one specific duration, and we know that everything is an estimate of the future. So, the experts have thought of having another technique where with certainty, with surety, only instead of going by only one duration, in this technique the experts have given us three different time estimates. Okay, and we will have to use those three different time estimates in order to find out the required things. Okay, now these three things will be given to you in the questions. Okay, we'll solve one problem today also. So if this optimistic time estimate is denoted by T subscript O, you can write this formula in your copy. Okay, if you are sitting with copy and pen, please note down this formula in your copy. This formula will be used for solving the problems. So if this optimistic time estimate is denoted by TO, subscript O, and the pessimistic time estimate is denoted by TP. Okay, TO and TP, and the most likely time estimate if it is denoted by TM, subscript M. Okay, so TO, TP and TM, if these are the denotion of the optimistic, pessimistic and the most likely time estimates, then from these three time estimates we will have to calculate the expected time of an activity. It is given by the weighted average of the three time estimates. So, in order, when we will have these three time estimates, then we will have to find out the expected time of an activity. That means, taken into consideration all the three time estimates given to us, we will now have to calculate the expected time of the activity. Okay, and the formula for calculating this expected time of an activity is write down this formula please. TE, in subscript you will write E. So TE equals to, in the numerator you will write TO plus 4TM plus TP. TO plus 4TM plus TP divided by 6. Okay, this is a weighted average. You remember the formula for solving the problems. We will have to use this formula. Then we will also have to learn the formula of variance of the activity. Next thing you write, variance of the activity is given by variance or standard deviation also it may be asked to find out. So if it is standard deviation, you'll just put a root over on the right hand side of this formula and you will remove this square. That's it. But here you write down variance of the activity is given by sigma square. This notation on the left hand side of the second formula is called sigma. This one. Sigma square equals to, formula is within bracket you write TP minus TO divided by 6 whole square. You'll have to put square. Okay. Sigma square equals to, within bracket you write TP minus TO divided by 6, then whole square. Then write down this formula also. D. This is the entire duration. D equals to, in the numerator you write due date minus expected date of completion divided by root over project variance. Due date minus expected date of completion divided by project variance. Okay. Due date minus expected date of completion divided by project variance. You start this problem. Okay, it's there in your WhatsApp group also. You please start this problem. If it is not visible, please check it from your WhatsApp group. Hmm. And then calculate TE and sigma square for all the activities given. Okay, please check it from your WhatsApp group. It will be visible properly. Okay, I'll be back within 5 minutes. Huh? You do this you prepare this table. First you write down the question. This is the question, and then prepare this table. Only the 3 columns. Understood? I'll be back within 5 minutes. Yes, have you done preparation of these three columns I told? Have you finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, what are the answers that you have got for estimated time? That is TE. How much have you got? Tell me the numbers. Tell me like this 7, 6, 14, like that, you say?
Ma'am, first one is 7,
Hmm.
second one is 6,
Hmm.
third one is
14,
4,
then 5, is
then 11.
it? 11, then 7, 11, 4, 18. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then variance, sigma square means variance, okay? Sigma square, you got 4, 4, 16, 1, 4, 4, 16, 1, 16. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Okay, uh, wait. Now you make the network diagram. Now you will have to make the network diagram. Okay, from the information given in the question and the estimated time that you have calculated. Okay, just like similar to critical path method, you will have to now calculate the I mean draw the diagram first, then I'm saying what you have to do. You draw the diagram, and in the bracket that is above the arrows, above the activities where you need to write the project duration, there you will write the time estimate that you have calculated. That means the numbers in the second column. Okay, quickly make the network diagram, draw it, then I'm saying what you need to do. Okay, draw the network diagram. 1 to 2, 1 to 6, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 3 to 5, 4 to 5, 6 to 7, 5 to 8, and 7 to 8. Draw this diagram and write the duration above the arrows, above the activities. Have you drawn the diagram and written the project duration from the time estimates? If you have done that, then calculate the earliest start, earliest finish, latest start and latest finish. You know how to do it, so I am not explaining again. So draw the houses beside all the events and calculate the earliest start, earliest finish, latest start and latest finish. Okay, calculate. Earliest start for the first event will be 0. Then we move on to the second event. It will be 0 plus 7. So 7. Earliest start, earliest finish. You write inside the houses, right? In the rectangles, you write. So 0 plus 7 will be 7. Then come to 3. At 3 only one arrow you can see. So 7 plus 14, you write 21. Then you come to 4. In 4 also only one arrow. So 7 plus 5, it will be 12. Within the house, you will write 12. Then come to 5. In 5, there are two arrows. So maximum you will have to take. One will be 21 plus 11. So 32. And one will be 12 plus 7. So 19. So 32 you will have to take. Then come to 6. In 6, it will be 0 plus 6. So 6. In 7, it will be 6 plus 11. So 17. And in 8, two arrows are there. So one is 32 plus 4. So 36. And one is 17 plus 18. So how much? 35. So 36 is maximum. You will take 36. In the last event, within the house, right? Then at the top of the house you will have to calculate. So the rule is the last events within the house number will go also at the terrace of the house. So the earliest finish time for the latest start finish time for the last event will be 36 only. Then you will have to come with the backward pass computation. Do backward pass computation. It will be for come to 7. In 7 only one arrow can be seen in backward pass computation. So it will be 36 minus 18. So 18 again. Come to 6. In 6 also only one arrow can be seen. So it will be 18 minus 11. So 7. Then come to 5. In 5 also one arrow can be seen. So 36 minus 4. So 32 at the terrace. Then come to 4. 4 also one arrow. So it will be 32 minus 7. So 25. Then come to 3. In 3 also only one arrow. So it will be 32 minus 11. So 21. Come to 2. 2 in 2 there are two arrows, right? So you will have to take the minimum. In backward pass computation for the event 2, there are two arrows. So you will have to take the minimum. One will be 21 minus 14, so 7. And one will be 25 minus 5, so 20. Minimum is 7, so you will take 7. For 2 second event, at the top of the house it will be 7. Then come to 1. In 1 also two arrows are there. So minimum you will have to take. One will be 7 minus 7, 0. Another will be 7 minus 6, 1. Minimum is 0. So you will take 0. Is it? So once you have calculated the earliest start, earliest finish, latest start and latest finish, after that you will also have to calculate total float of each of the activities. Okay, just like the way we calculated in critical path method, you will now prepare a table where you will calculate only the total float, because you need to identify the critical path. Okay, so prepare a table where you will also calculate total float. Are you getting my point? Are you understanding what I am saying? From this step, you will have to calculate similar to the critical path method till the identification of the critical path. After that, another few things will have to be done. So, okay, your homework is to find out the critical path of this problem. Tomorrow is holiday, I think. So, day after tomorrow, we'll proceed with this sum. Then, what you need to do, that I will tell you. Okay. In the question, it is mentioned, no, draw the project network and find the probability of the project completing in 40 days. So we have seen, we will see that the project duration will come as 36. Then we will have to find out the probability of the project that it will complete in 40 days. That I will tell you on Wednesday. Okay. So you will complete till to calculation of the total float and identification of the critical path. Tell me, though, how do you identify critical path after calculating total float? Who will tell? Muskan Gupta will tell me. Tell me, Muskan, how do you identify the critical path after calculating the total float? Yes, Muskan. What happened?
Ma'am, I don't know.
Why?
Ma'am, last time I could not attend classes for 1 week.
Why don't you see the recordings? Otherwise, you will lose the track. No,
Ma'am, I
we
was
will
out of
finish it.
station and no network was there.
So when will you finish it? We were attending classes in the last week.
No,
We were
ma'am.
there. Ashish, you tell me how to identify the critical path from the calculation of total float. Ashish, tell me. How to identify critical path from total float calculation. Ashish, are you there? Hmm? What happened to you? Who knows the answer? Tell me, please.
Ma'am, all the zeros in total float.
Hmm. You have to identify the zeros. Take the zeros. Then see the corresponding activity. That gives you the critical path. Ashish, Kajal, Kasak. Wait, I'm giving attendance. Ashish, Kajal, Kasak, Muskan Prasad, Muskan Gupta. Muskan Prasad, Muskan Gupta, Nidhi, Pratiksha, Priyanka, Saurav. Okay, leave and then. You can leave the class. See you at 9:20.